If you were impressed by my drifting skills last week, you ain't seen nothing yet. We're at the Porsche Ice Experience, so buckle up for the ride of your life. These amazing machines can do 0 to 60 in 3 seconds and have a top speed of over 300 kilometers an hour. This adrenaline pumping experience is not for the faint-hearted. We're not doing it mine though, because it's £6,000 each. So we're just watching from the side of the road.
Welcome back everyone. So yeah, we were just driving down the road here and we see this track on the side of the road and them all drifting. Brilliant to watch, but I managed to get the drone up and follow them around the whole course, which was cool to see. And there's some pretty talented people here, I have to say. So for £6,000 you get quite a bit, but that's the introductory package. They do a £9,000 one as well, which I don't know what that includes.
Should we get two?
Either way, they're both out of our budget. I did think we might be able to save a little bit of money and ask if we could take the old Sainsburys van round, but I don't think they'd be so keen.
Save us on accommodation too.
Oh yeah, because that's included in your £9,000 as well. But yeah, I think even if you're not interested in cars, like watching something like this is quite cool anyway.
It'd be such a cool thing to have a go at, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so even though we're not doing it, it's still good to watch.
So since we left you last, we've started our journey south and we've made it to Levi. But to get here, we came down the aptly named Wilderness Road because for miles and miles and miles, there is nothing but trees and frozen lakes. And it's the first place in all of the Nordics we've actually lost phone signal. The signal's been incredible here. But for today's activity, unfortunately, we can't afford the Porsche experience. But I think I found us the next best thing.
This is a moon bike. It does 0 to 60 in, well, never, because it doesn't actually do 60. It might not be as fast as the Porsches, but it's probably just as much fun.
I'm getting the hang of this.
I think she's getting a bit too confident.
Oh God. I'm up. As my homeboy and countryman Casey Stoner would say, I think my ambition outweighed my talent a little bit there. At least it doesn't hurt when you crash. Watch me rip, baby. Woo! Well, I tell you what, this is a blast. And we'd like to thank this week's sponsor, Surfshark, for making activities like this possible. If you don't know, Surfshark is a virtual private network and it allows you to change your real location to a virtual one anywhere around the world. It also keeps you safe from big companies and cyber criminals by encrypting all the information sent between your device and the internet. So do you remember I told you about my beauty new gloves? Well, I had a few questions in the comments asking where I got them from. So I jumped on Google, had a search, nothing. But then I got on Surfshark, changed my address to Finland, and boom, there they were. Changing your virtual location can also help you get cheap travel deals because companies have different pricings for different countries. And before he asks, no, we still can't afford the Porsche experience. Masking your IP address also helps you stay safe online. Using Surfshark means that your city, country, and download history can't be linked to your identity. It also encrypts all of your information and it doesn't monitor, track, or store anything you do online.
Wunderbar, yeah?
So Surfshark works on unlimited devices and they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it risk-free. There's a link in the description that'll give you 3 months extra for free if you use the code TRUEBLUE at the checkout. Woohoo! Well, Well, this was so much fun, and normally I am rubbish at these kinds of things, but tell you what, falling off in the snow makes a big difference too. But it's called Tuntura Flow, and they're the only place in Finland that have these moon bikes if you want to give it a go. But it's actually quite reasonable, so you can try it for 10 minutes on their track for 20 euros, or if you do it for an hour, it's only 80 euros. So definitely come and have a go if you're in the area. It is brilliant.
Well, we didn't actually plan to do that. We were going to go snowmobiling, but when we saw them little beauties, we thought we couldn't not have a go on them.
To give them a go.
The first time I've seen them about, they were brilliant. But yeah, they're all road registered and everything like that, so you could take them out on the lakes and everything. You didn't just have to stay on that track. But out here, you can ride snowmobiles and things like that when you're 15, and there's so many tracks for them. Whereas in the UK, like four-wheel drive tracks or enduro tracks or anything like that, everybody moans about them, don't they? Whereas over here, it's almost like pushed, because everywhere you go, there's like, the way they designate them is they've got two posts with red crosses either side, and that means you can go anywhere in them areas in your snowmobiles, everything like that.
Yeah, you just have to have a licence, and away you go.
Yeah,
so yeah, they love a bit of fun out here. But we've got a big old drive today, so let's see what scenes Finland's got in store for us today.
With you, the sun is shining 24/7. 'Cause when we're together, it feels like we're in heaven. If it will get dark, you'll be my million stars. I know I can lean on you. Ooh, you catch me like a leaf falling from a tree. If I'll be a shooting star.
Well, it's a sad day because we're leaving the Arctic. But tell you what though, the old Sainsburys van, she delivered. The frozen goods, still good, but I may or may not have eaten all of the bakery items. All joking aside, it was a bit of a sad moment really.
Yeah, well, like these last few weeks have been brilliant, and it's almost like it's just been building and building and getting better and
this
better.
trip just gets better and better.
Yeah, and then even the extremes, even the breakdowns and everything like that, it's been so interesting.
Such experience,
yeah.
this trip.
And then when we did the tobogganing last week with Jess and Alex, it just built up to that day. That day was incredible, and then when we left and we saw that sunset one side, and then like a moon set sort of like thing the other side, it was just incredible.
Yeah.
And then we sort of felt a bit flat after that really.
Yeah.
Because obviously we're sort of heading home now and everything as well.
And we've turned south as well.
Yeah, but then like the biggest thing that gives us a kick up the bum sometimes is the comments. Like we got one comment and this bloke said, "You're living the dream while we live the daily grind." And that sort of like hit home a little bit then and reminded us that like
we try to remember to be grateful all the time for this life that we're living, but it's easy to get flat in any life, isn't it? So yeah, we appreciate those comments, and we've still got a fair few things we want to tick off the list, so there's plenty more adventures to come.
I'm exhausted, but it's not from the drive, it's from just doing my head in for the whole drive.
Me?
Yeah, you. So I would tell you about the argument, but there's only a little bit of daylight, so I'm going to have to save that for later and I'll explain then, because it's a bit too complex for me to let you know.
Complex. John was a knob. The end.
Pipe down, General. I've had enough of you today. The soldier's speaking.
Let's go see Oulu.
Well, I tell you what, the weather's on the change, and it's on the change fast. It's 2 degrees today, so everything's thawing. So it's always a bit grim when it's like that, because you get all slush on the side of the roads and the paths and everything like that. But I'd love to know the road conditions in Finland, because you can never tell, because where the ice melts and everything, it creates almost like big potholes, but it's just the ice. I don't know what the actual tarmac would be like, so yeah, I'd be interested to know anyway.
That's a thrilling thought, isn't it? Absolutely riveting. What is the state of the bitumen in Finland? All right, it's official. I'm calling a truce. Are we friends?
Friends.
We're friends.
So some more interesting bitumen talk for you. So we're on the side of the road on the path, and obviously it's all ice, but you don't realise how thick it is until you see this. So where the gutters come down there, it's washed like a channel in the path, and here you can see how thick it is, and it's probably about 10 centimetres thick. Unreal. The next instalment of road conditions with John, because that's probably the most interesting thing we're going to show you today, is on the paths on the road, what they do is when it gets icy, they don't really put salt down. What they do is they put gravel down, and it's really grippy. But one thing they reckon you should do is you should carry like a bag of gravel. So like, you know, when we got stuck with the chains, rather than having to get the chains on, you just chuck some gravel under your tyres where the ice is, and you can get traction like that. And yeah, it's amazing how much traction you actually get. Well, I tell you what, you might as well switch off now because we're not showing you anything decent from here.
John, don't tell them that.
I mean, to be fair, like, we can't give it a fair shake because
No.
the conditions are terrible, and even the most beautiful place in the world in these conditions will look bad.
It would look grim.
But,
I think even Lake Bled would look grim in
yeah.
these conditions.
But it smells as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't smell too fresh. And I'm gutted because there are some really gorgeous looking buildings. And there's an old market that we got here just in time for it to close.
Yeah.
So I think there could be a lovely place, but today is not its day.
We're doing a lot of whinging today, really, aren't we?
Yeah, we've not been our sparkliest selves. Sorry, everybody. I think, you know what I think we need? Should we find some food?
Bit of food. She's in a black mood. We went looking for a buffet, couldn't find one, so we're now at a shop. She's hungry.
Don't talk to me about it. I can't. I'm too hungry, I can't see. And now I'm having to cook dinner.
She's not happy. I just asked her what's for dinner. I said I didn't fancy what she said. You can imagine how that went down, can't you? If you've never seen a general on the warpath, here it is. Jess,
Yeah.
should we skip dinner? I'll tell you what, she's so lucky to have me, patiently walking round after her. Are we done yet?
If you helped rather than just irritating me, maybe we would be done a little faster.
Hurry up.
You're just too good to be true.
She's cheered up there, look.
Can't wait to eat you.
Oh, a bit cheerful now, eh?
The good old golden arch has saved the day. Put that down and eat the dinner.
You know when you go to the zoo and like this is what they look like after they've been fed?
You're a delight, is what you are.
All happy now, aren't you? Look at you.
I am back. I'm back. I've got tea, I've got cake, I've got pyjamas.
I think half the reason you're grumpy is because she's had this thing where she's not eating so much during the day in the morning. And I think that's why we had the row today.
No, we had the row today because you are a pain to live with
Right.
on the best of
Right.
circumstances.
Shh.
Don't you shush me.
Let me show you how it went down.
Oh, God.
So, darling, I've got an idea about the YouTube video. Oh, yeah. What stupid idea you got now, then? Well, my love, I spent a lot of time on this idea. No. Oh, okay, Sugar Plum. Well, what about... No. Okay, but what if... No. Well, how about... No. But... No. Okay, then. I'll just do whatever you want to do, shall we? Don't you speak to me like that. I'll get these guns out on you, mate. Mick Dundee taught me everything I know. So shut up, you scrawny-legged pain in my ass, baldy boy. Okay, darling.
So was that factually accurate?
Give or take a few words. And
A few words.
A few less swear words from Jess, but everybody knows I'm very innocent, I'm very calm
It's
and
like
collected.
living with a saint.
But you know what? That was the start of the argument. Then it got deeper. And you know where it got into? Toilet paper. And I'm not even joking. This is an ongoing argument in our house and has been for 10 years now. So let me explain this one.
I think you mean 13.
Let me explain. Toilet paper. So when
If you didn't know, this is toilet paper.
when you put toilet paper on the roll, on the holder, right? So you put the old thing through and you put it like that, don't you? That's how you do it. So you're sitting on the toilet, that's how you pull the toilet paper. Jess puts it that way.
Not necessarily, I just put it on any which way.
Anyway, anyway, like that. What?
I just don't think it makes a big difference to our quality of life which way the toilet paper is.
So I kept telling her, Jess, do me a favour, put it on that way. Yes, dear. Jess put it on that way. And honestly, 10 years we went through that. Now she puts it on the right way. So I don't know if you're weird like Jess and just throw it on any other way.
Or if you think there's more important things in life than which way the toilet paper roll runs.
Morning, Jessica.
John, I've got no pants on. We'll be back in just a minute. I have pants on. We're good. By the way, I mean the Aussie definition of pants, not the English definition. I do not mean my underpants. I mean the things that go on your legs.
Because nobody wants to see that.
It's not very nice. Well, no, nobody does want to see that. What the hell was that noise?
That was your growler.
You're such an idiot.
Should we start again? Let's start again. Morning, Jessica.
Good morning, everybody.
So what are we doing today, Jess?
Well, today, one of our bucket list things for this trip was to drive an ice road, but none of the ice roads had been thick enough. So we've headed all the way out to near the Russian border to a place called Oulu to drive an ice road, but I don't think we're going to be able to drive it because there's a blooming thaw. So we'll go see. We need water as well, so we'll go see what happens, eh? Oh my God!
Well, it's snowing and we're meant to be getting a big snowstorm today as well, and I hope we do, because hopefully that'll make everything beautiful again. And it's strange that before we came here in England, if you were to say to me anything in a minus temperature, I'd be hating it. But out here, for me, my favourite temperature is probably -5 to -10, because anything warmer than -5, all the snow starts to melt and it looks messy, whereas anything colder than -10, it starts to get a bit cold, things sort of start to stop working, including Jess. So yeah, I'm just glad we're getting some good weather again.
One thing that is a little bit easier in the milder weather though is filling up with water, because your filler neck doesn't freeze and there's a few more defrosted taps. But I have to say the Nordics have been so camper friendly. We've found water all over the place, sometimes frozen, but still they don't mind you having it. And like camp ups, we haven't worried once with a park up. Everyone's just so blasé and happy about vans being here. So that is really nice to experience. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about with water was our water filtration system. So you saw we fitted that when we did the van, and we wouldn't be without it now. It makes such a difference. Not having to worry at all where you fill up, and not having to worry about like getting to shops to buy drinking water, because we used to run drinking water in separate bottles and it was a total faff. Also, we're going to go to Latvia hopefully on this trip, and the drinking water there isn't always potable. Whereas with this water filtration system, we can just fill up anywhere and not worry. So a top tip I would give you, if you're building a van, look at putting a drinking water filtration system in. Maintenance workers on a snowmobile. Everyday life in Finland.
Well, we made it to the ice road, but unfortunately we won't be doing it today because it's rated for 3 tonne, and I reckon we're slightly over 3 tonne. And we'd probably be all right, because I reckon if they're rated for 3, then you're probably good for 4 and 5, but it's not a risk I want to take anyway, because if we did fall in the ice, well, we'd make the headlines, but we would be insured. But the reason obviously this ice road's here is because it's a 7-kilometre trip from there to there. Whereas in the summer, when this isn't here, it's a 60-kilometre trip. And the way they rate them for the 3 tonne as well is what they do is they go along the whole road and they drill holes in it and they measure how thick the ice is. And they've even got radar scanners that can do it now as well. Now, another reason we're not doing it is because of the speed limit. Now, normally this is a 50-kilometre-an-hour road and they put it down to 30. And the reason they've got speed limits is because when you drive over the ice, it creates waves underneath of the unfrozen water, and that's what can potentially damage the road. So the fact that they put it down to 30 tells me that the ice is a lot thinner than it normally is. Another reason it's not giving us good vibes, let me show you this. Bit of water in there, boy.
And last but not least, you're not actually allowed to stop on the road because it puts too much pressure in one place. And we don't think we'd actually be able to show you very much, because the poor old drone ain't going to fly 7 kilometres in this wind with this snowstorm. Well, unfortunately, I think the old driving on an ice road is going to have to stay on the bucket list for now. I did consider saddling up my little donkey and busting out the Johnmobile, but I think a 14k round trip is probably a bit far, even for him.
How long do we gotta stay here for people we don't know in one lines? All of the clothes are designer, fast cars, and who knows who.
So we've made it to Savonlinna, just in time for the sun to poke her beautiful little head out. Now I've got 2 activities planned for today, and I'm excited for both, but can you guess what the first one is? Today we're having Lunes, which is a Finnish tradition, and it's a buffet style lunch. So for £12.50 you get starters, soups, mains, salad bar, dessert, drinks, teas and coffees, everything included. Tell you what, Gary, thanks so much for the recommendation, mate. You know it the way to my heart. I think I need to have a lie down. Well, it might surprise you to know that my favourite thing about a buffet is not actually the quantity of food that you get, because I know I'm greedy, but it's the fact that you get to try so many different things. That, my friends, is why buffets will always be my favourite kind of restaurant. And I consider myself to be somewhat of a buffet connoisseur. So I'm going to give you my Food Friday ratings. So that buffet gets about a 7 out of 10 for the food, good home cooked meal, but 11 out of 10 for the value for money and for the lovely people.
And she says my Talk Tuesdays are boring.
People love the food, John. And then I have to also give you my top tip for the best buffet we've been to in the world. Now, the one in Norway was amazing, the quality of the food was incredible, but the likelihood that you're going to get to go to that place is quite slim.
Get on with it.
However, if you ever go to France, do yourself a favour and get yourself to the Grill Inn. It's a chain of buffets all over France. Oh, the food is magnificent. So get yourself a Eurotunnel ticket booked and get yourself to a Grill Inn and thank me later. But our main reason for visiting Savonlinna is this incredible castle behind me. It's called Savonlinna, and it's one of the most famous landmarks in Finland. And I think you can see why. It is incredibly impressive. This castle was originally built in the medieval period by the Swedes to protect their borders from Russia, but it's been occupied by both the Swedish and the Russians as they've warred constantly over Finland for centuries. We did want to take you inside to show you around, but unfortunately they're doing a lot of works on it, so there's not much that we can get to show you. When we went inside though, John found something that he said we had to show the people.
So if you've been following us for a while, you know I love a gutter.
What you doing?
Just admiring the gutters. They're galvanised. Got a nice little imprint on it, look. I think we've got a contender for the old galvanised. The old wooden gutters, look. Just hollow out a bit of wood. Well, I think we've got a new champion of the gutter leaderboard. Copper gutters. Beautiful.
So we're going to leave you there for this week because this marks our last little stop in Finland, which I'm gutted about because we have absolutely loved our time here. But before we leave you, there's one thing I think you know, just has to be done. You all know he deserves it. We'll see you next week. And don't forget about the Surfshark link in the description.